Hello and welcome back. I'm Darren and I'm joined with Shawn, and we are in the shop again. And Shawn is super happy because it is Christmas. It's not Christmas in July, it's Christmas in sometime in late spring here in Canada, but Shawn is super happy because there's stuff behind me that he wants to talk about.
Presents from Russia. Wax presents. All kinds of stuff for a big part of the build. But I'm not going to describe what it is until we go through and actually open the packages, and you'll see what I got as well as I do. I've never opened these up yet. So, let's open the packages.
So you might call this an unboxing video, Shawn?
Mostly, yep.
Yeah, they're kind of lame, but this one, I promise you, is way better than lame. Couple of notches above.
Yeah, because what this is going to let us do.
Yes. So what happened to this box? Sergey didn't send it to us like this.
No, he didn't. He had it originally packaged up quite nice. We have pictures to prove it. But Customs had their way with it. They pretty much bum rushed this thing all across the country. Really, for all intents and purposes.
So do we bust into this one first?
We do. This one's easy.
Oh, the suspense.
This is a new one. Usually we get packing peanuts. This is ground cardboard. Now, to throw this in without throwing out the good stuff.
Anything of value?
Yeah. Check that out. That's a timing cover with a crank sensor.
That's got a crankshaft sensor. So that should be a clue. A clue to anyone who knows Ladas even a little. That should let you know what we're on to. All right, what else we got?
Some little emissions pipes. But we have here, oh, that's the stove unit. Again, Customs wasn't nice. Some intake track pieces.
So we've got some inlet side.
Yep. This here is a new throttle cable.
What could need a new throttle on the Lada?
Right?
Well, that's weird. That looks like a pulley.
That's a crank trigger pulley, yes.
That's interesting, and it's got teeth on it.
Yes, it does. Oh, part of it. It has to go with that sensor. So here we have a wiring harness.
That's some really complex looking wiring for a Lada.
Oh, we have fuel lines. High pressure fuel lines. With a fuel filter. A coil.
A coil.
Yep.
So that means our distributor is going.
It's going bye-bye. Yep.
You guys figured out what's going on yet? Now, what is this?
This is a cylinder head. But this is a special cylinder head. Mostly because it has fuel injector ports right there. Oh yeah, we got all 4 of them. So those bosses are not what you would find in a normal cylinder head that we would take off of or put onto IVAN2104. But have you guys guessed it yet? An O2 sensor?
Oxygen sensors? It should be readily apparent that this is a takeoff fuel injection kit from a modern fuel-injected Russian multi-port Lada.
Yep.
Bye-bye carburetor. Shawn wants to do EFI. Amazing.
Now, here's the funny thing about EFI and me. For the most part, I dislike EFI. I like carburation. I love the purity of carburation. In fact, I like carbureting my fuel-injected vehicles. Except for very specific circumstances. Mostly when adding atmospheric pressure.
And how would you go about adding atmospheric pressure to the Lada, Shawn?
Why, with a turbo, of course.
A turbo, he says. That's weird. Last time we talked about forced induction with IVAN2104, it was a lot more basic. It was a belt-driven supercharger hooked to a carburetor. But Shawn's changed his mind. Sergey had a little bit of discussion with him. He had a little bit of influence.
I want more power.
Shawn wants more power. I can run it either way. I like superchargers as a rule, but a supercharger kit on that particular Lada, it's a little bit not quite the normal caliber that I'm used to working with. However, turbos on small displacement engine, like bread and butter, go together awesomely. So this is box number 1 of Project Fuel Injection IVAN2104. We'll have to figure out a working title that's less wordy.
Now, not so much a spoiler, but a heads up. With this fuel injection kit, we are going to put together naturally aspirated, get the car running, get it driving, get the system sorted out so there's no issues before we put boost to it. That way we don't blow something up.
Yeah, that's a key component here. We're not going to do fuel injection and a turbo all in one go because we do have to make sure that this is going to work correctly. We do have a couple of tuning level solutions to figure out, and we can't just put on fuel injection, put on boost, wind it up, and see what shakes loose, because we'll end up with pulls and pistons, rods out the bottom, terrible stuff like that for totally unnecessary reasons.
Call this stage 1 on the road to power.
Yeah, so this will be a very involved session for whenever we get around to it, to putting fuel injection into a formerly carbureted Lada, because this is a little bit unbroken ground, at least for us in the English sphere of technical resources. But Shawn has got another box.
More boxes. Woo!
This Lada Moscow tape's pretty cool.
It is.
We should get Grand Touring Concepts tape if we ever ship anything anywhere.
We mostly buy, we don't sell much.
Yeah, that's true. More of this awesome shredded cabbage cardboard stuff.
It's good to see. The Russians are being very environmentally friendly. None of the styrofoam stuff that hurts the planet.
Have you ever seen a T-72 drive?
Yes.
It pretty much lays its own smoke screen. Like that's how they make smoke. They spray diesel into the exhaust.
It's how I'm justifying it, okay?
Russians, good for the environment. That is a completely new one.
Airbox?
That is in really good shape.
As well as a new air filter.
Cool.
That was unexpected.
Yeah. Why do I just keep coming up with more of this cardboard cabbage?
I know. The mass air meter.
That is the tiniest, cutest little mass air meter I've ever seen in my life.
It wants to grow up and be a real one someday.
Look at that. I have never seen a mass air meter that tiny.
You gotta remember, 1.5 liter.
Right.
We've never seen a 1.5 liter that had a mass air meter, actually.
No, that's true. That's actually completely true. Shop in the junkyards, things like that. Engines under about 1.8 liters in North America, in Canada at least, very uncommon. So for us to see fuel injected anything this small, very rare. Very rare. Most stuff is 2 liters and above these days.
And any of the modern stuff is, they're the other style. They're more of a map style. They're not a...
Yeah, speed density or otherwise. Oh, is that a PCM?
That's a Bosch PCM.
That's both good and bad.
Yes, that is going to actually cause some of our problems.
Yes, I've been speaking with Emil, our engineering friend in Romania, who is Hungarian, and he gave me a link to a very expensive, very extensive book on how to make that run, because there are going to be some things for me to overcome, principally anti-theft systems. So you got to see exactly what system that is and exactly what it marries to, and then what we can do to tune it. That's could be a whole other series of problems.
Made in Germany, it's good to go. Come on now.
For me and my laptop to handle. Is this a manifold?
This is an intake manifold.
Holy, look at that.
Injectors, harness, pressure regulator, and the world's tiniest little throttle body.
It's not too bad. So we got injectors.
It's a little intake.
That's got nice long runners though. It should build some torque.
Okay, torque has never been the problem with this thing.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things that they always wanted it to do.
It torques well.
Yeah, it does torque well. So that's not too bad. So we've got our 4 injectors in place. All of our connectors and pins all look in good shape too.
GM style. This is all direct GM stuff if you look at it, North American world.
Yeah, North American General Motors. So hopefully we shouldn't have too much trouble bending this to our own devices.
So yeah, as a recap, we have a head, we have an intake manifold, throttle body, mass air meter, we have a crank, we have sensors, wiring harness, the lines that get around all the fuel injection stuff. What we don't have is a fuel tank and a fuel pump.
Right, because Sergey said that sending a formerly active fuel tank, internationally would be a problem. There's some concerns about sending flammable liquids to one another, even just amongst friends. So we're going to source something locally, probably in the way of a fuel cell or something else.
We kind of have to, because you guys might not have ever noticed, but when we did our Strawberry Creek Raceway run, that was that private track.
Yes.
The Lada starved itself for fuel on hard right-hand corners.
Yeah, that was kind of an issue. So we do have to take care of a tank that is baffled and fuel injection friendly. Maybe you want a little bit more capacity. And also, when there's a big heat change, that tank tends to collapse on itself and lose capacity unless Shawn applies shop air and balloons it back out.
Yeah.
Neat party trick that the car can do.
We're looking at a 60-liter fuel cell, most likely, with the foam baffling in it, so that we never starve this thing for air under boost, because that will explode an engine all over the place.
By starve for air, you mean starve for fuel, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Air will be a problem with the starving of the things that make go bang.
Yes. Air bad, fuel good, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. Now, this is all of the meat and potatoes of the mechanical stuff that we have.
Yep.
Shawn, you've got some more
I do.
stuff?
I have more stuff.
All right, let's cut to that. So now we have got the biggest one, well, biggest, longest. We've got the last one here ready, and Shawn is eager to crack into it.
Because I know some of what's in there, but I don't think I know all of what's in there.
Yes, this one might be a little bit of a surprise, because Shawn did place this order a long time ago, and you know, it's hard to say what a guy gets versus what he's looking for. What if I do this?
Oh yeah,
That was mildly erotic.
a little bit.
Yep.
We could call it unsheathing. Here, hold it. There we are. We get extra dangly bits.
This one's going to be interesting.
That is. I was hoping that was in here. Oh, and this. Yeah.
So let's take a guess. What is this? It's a blue box. It's about 18 to 20 inches long.
It's not that. I swear to God.
If it starts vibrating, I'm leaving.
Yes. I am too, actually. I don't want anything that vibrates coming from Russia.
Sergey must get a discount on this tape. He's used an awful lot of it. That was my thumb.
That was your thumb.
Oh, it's that Russian bread knife you ordered. Now we can cut all of our Russian bread.
It's Russian for camshaft?
It is a camshaft. Which camshaft is that, Shawn?
That's the Estonia 256.
I don't think you know how to read Cyrillic or Russian.
Not really.
No. But Shawn did remember what camshaft he ordered. Now, rough specs off the top of the head. What is this camshaft going to do for us, Shawn?
Bunch more mid-range torque, a little bit of top end, but mostly mid-range power. A good turbo cam, as it were.
Right, a good turbo cam, and this one is specific to the fuel injection because they run a little bit different follower system than the carburetor, correct?
No.
They're the same?
Same.
There we have it.
The 1.7s ran a different follower system.
Okay, right.
The 1.5 injected, from my understanding, runs the same across the board.
Great. So you guys can look up the specs for this. Sergey sells them on his site. It's the Estonian...
Estonia 256.
256, not the Estonia. I believe there's a plus, I think.
I think the plus is the 1.7 injected one or something.
Right, so this is the Estonia 256. You can take a look at that on ladamoscow.com. As well, we do have a link to Lada camshafts that are widely used on gtconcepts.ca. I'll put a link down in the description below where you guys can take a look at the cams and some of the various recommendations if you're considering one for yourself. But what are these?
Lightweight valve retainers.
Oh, look at that. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, to go with the hot rod cam.
Those are really nice. Those are way better than the old bog standard factory stuff, eh?
Yep. Well, I figured, you're spending that kind of money on fuel injection, cam, fuel system, might as well at least, go for a little bit of good stuff.
Yeah, why not? So surely this wasn't a lightweight stiffening rod to ship a camshaft,
No,
right?
no.
This wasn't just to drive up shipping costs?
No, this is to fix a screw up.
Oh, a screw up.
Yes.
What kind of screw up?
A snowbank at 60 kilometers an hour when ice racing.
So you may recall we were ice racing a couple of times. We did put together a video on our first experience, but when we went back out to hammer at it again on the second experience, we focused entirely on racing and really trying to get the best performance out of the car that we could and ourselves. And we did really well. I did put the car into a snowbank, but Shawn put the car through a snowbank.
Okay, good. Through the gate. Mind that dome. Through the gate. No problem. Upright. Hard right.
I still set a fast time.
Shawn did set a fast time, but he did run the Lada through the snowbank at about, our telemetry said about 55 kilometers an hour through a nice wind-packed snowbank, and it did terrible things to the front end of the Lada.
That's why the Lada no longer has a chin splitter.
Yes, you may recall one of our very early videos way back in the day, we installed a really cool looking chin splitter on the front of IVAN2104, and then it mysteriously vanished. And Ivan hasn't had one for a long time. But we are looking to put that back as it is supposed to be whenever Shawn's done messing with bubble wrap.
This is 30's fault. My God.
My God, man.
Freaking ridiculous.
The people are waiting.
Leave this long to keep things. Never mind. Anyways.
So there you go. We now have another chin spoiler for the front of IVAN2104. That will put it back to the way it used to be.
I still have the old one. I'll show you what I did.
Yeah, that's what was left of it. So this one is gonna put us back in business.
Yeah. Wait.
It's gonna look way better. Yeah, that's gonna look good again. So that was an important thing for a long time. I've been bothering Shawn because they're a really affordable piece. Like, they're not a lot of money. It's just one of those things of getting one shipped over because they are kind of bulky. So Shawn waited until he had a bunch of other stuff to get. But
there's also another reason I never ordered that.
Which was?
We've been off and on what kit to run on the, what flares to run on the car, what we were going to proceed with the next part of the build. So we never ordered it because we didn't want to order parts multiple times.
Sure.
Until these showed up. Now, this is justified.
So, those are lawn edging?
Nope.
Those are not for your garden at home?
Nope, not for the garden at all.
Those are fender flares.
Yep.
We have a set for the front and a set for the back, and they are different.
Yep, front's at a 50 mil wide, rear's at a 40. To go with the wheels that we haven't really talked about that's going on the car, which required all the work that we did on the car.
Right. Because when you had seen the previous video where we cut the floor out of the vehicle, that wasn't really what we're up to doing initially. We were looking to make room to put some bigger wheels on, a little bit wider offset, but we also had to patch the floor, so it ended up being a big job, which Shawn is still, we'll call it 60% through.
Yeah, work's been busy, so just not a lot of time lately.
Sure, and you know, we'll get that to you guys as soon as we get it done for ourselves, because once we get those portions of the firewall all patched up and everything's good to go, we can start making forward progress again on the other more interesting stuff.
Yep.
Now, should we just leave this stuff on the bench, or should we grab some Gorilla Tape and maybe do a masking tape mock-up?
We'll do a quick mock-up.
Let's do a mock-up. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull IVAN2104 in here, get rid of the 1,000 subscriber burnout wheel, which was a really fun video to make. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. It's posted to the main page. Now, we will grab our masking tape, IVAN2104, and we will show you what this stuff looks like, applied temporarily at least. This tortured tire is still cool.
The what?
The tortured tire, still cool.
Oh yeah.
I think you took like half the tread life off it. Like, man, that thing is just rashed.
When we pull her off, we'll show the good folks how much damage you did to a brand new tire.
Yeah, let's put her up. I'm going to interrupt Shawn. Shawn, can you give us an impromptu review of the GTC 1000 subscriber burnout tire? So, first of all, what model is it? I see it's a mud and snow rated 175/70 R13.
Yep, it's a Jetson Innovation.
Oh, really? And what country is Jetson tires produced in?
An Asian country.
Okay.
Most likely, let's see. Oh, wait. This one may be so cheap that it doesn't even say where it's from.
That's fantastic. So,
Tubeless.
it's a radial
Radial,
design,
yeah.
but that doesn't actually mean it's radial in construction.
It's made in Mexico.
It's made in Mexico?
Yeah.
Wow. So, now you've had this on the car for just a short while, you know, initial kind of testing and things like that. So, how would you rate this tire for long-term longevity?
Not so good.
Okay. How about evenness of wear?
Nope.
No?
Not there at all.
Temperature. How's the temperature?
Oh, it gets hot.
Okay. Traction? What's the traction?
Non-existent.
Okay. Cost?
Oh, dirt cheap.
Very good. All right. So we found something that the Jetson tire is good at.
Well, we do know something else that it's good at.
What's that?
It makes the smoke.
It makes smoke. It smells terrible. Terrible smelling smoke. It's like someone is burning deep fryer fish or something. It's wretched smelling stuff. But that is the Burno tire from the 1,000 subscriber thank you video. And again, we thank all of our subscribers for dropping along and having fun with us. But that tire will live to make more smoke another day. Maybe we'll go until it blows up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we got other stuff to do. Let's get back to the mock-up. As promised, behind me is the masking tape markup. Actually, it is Gorilla Tape, but Shawn is going to walk you through his artistic design intent for IVAN2104 2018. Shawn, take it away.
Design intent.
Yes, school, study.
I've seen a picture and I liked it.
All right, walk the folks through what you've done.
We've Gorilla Taped back on our chin splitter. Very rough install. No holes drilled yet. To bring the nose back down a bit more, you can make it a little more aggressive.
Sportesque.
Very sportesque. Bigger, wider tires, more sticky, more offset. Even has a little bit of that stretched look.
A little bit of stretched look, indeed. So obviously, where you see white
is roughly where we'll be cut off.
Yes. So we have to trim, and as you recall, we have to, of course, move the firewall back to make room for these large offset tires and wheels.
Yep.
Which was one of the key features that you want to take care of.
Yep. And we got the flare on there, so just cover the back.
Yeah, we'll just walk up here and you can see how the pocket flares kind of pop out. These are a staggered fitment for flares, correct?
That's right.
And what do you have in the front?
50s.
So they're 50 mil?
Yep.
50 mil in the front. That's 5 centimeters. That is about 2 inches for those of you working in Imperial. And then over to the back, you've got a little bit more creativity that needs to occur in the back.
This is a very, very rough install. There's massive changes going to happen here. We're going to have to trim and adjust because, again, these are also a taller tire than stock by about almost an inch.
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, we've got white metal to remove. We're going to end up quite high. We're going to end up cutting, well,
basically
just below the rivet holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And modify it around the door a little bit. Decide what we're going to do with back here. Probably trim some bits. And these are a 40 mil offset. And if you do look down on it, the wheels do tuck in just a little bit. But that's okay because I'm looking at maybe bringing the back end out a little more. But it'll be flares first, see where they sit, and then we'll adjust things to make it sit even.
Right, so you've got quite a bit of body work to do in the way of removing some metal, patching up the holes that you create to make it weather tight again, and then installing these flares to cover the wheels and give that really nice kind of pocket flared look.
Really, as much as I hate to say it, a 70s Japanese look. With fender mount mirrors, chin splitter, pocket flares, wide tires. Yeah, a 70s Datsun.
It's a good look though, so why not go for it? Because the sedan side, you know, would be a little bit of a test, but with the, you know, the estate, the wagon, well, it lends itself naturally to it.
And there'll be a little kick up here somewhere. We got to figure that out yet.
Yeah.
Actually, if any of you guys know of a spoiler that goes in the back of a wagon without much messing around with.
Yes, that's a good idea. We have been trying to figure out a spoiler option for the back of IVAN2104 here. We're coming up a little bit dry, especially in North America, because vehicles of this kind of size and stature aren't very common at all, so there's not a lot of speed parts or appearance parts. But if you guys know of something anywhere out there, on the internet, eBay, whatever that you think would look really good on the back and isn't made out of an aluminum picnic table or a ladder, we would be really happy to hear about it.
Yep.
Because it might save us a little bit of researching, because we've been looking for pretty much a year and a half.
I've been beating my head against the wall for almost as long as I've owned the car.
All right, so groupthink, crowdsourcing, and option. We need a spoiler for the back of IVAN2104, and we put it to you, our viewers and followers, to help us choose one. Let's see what you guys can have. Throw it in the comments below or over on Facebook. Wherever you like to engage us, we're happy to talk about spoilers for IVAN2104. So, does that pretty much wrap us up, Shawn?
That pretty much wraps us up for now, yeah?
Yeah, we've gone from an unbox to a mock-up to a rough idea to let you guys know what is in store for IVAN2104 in the summer of 2018. And we'll thank you very much for watching. We hope to see you again soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. Later.